Hello friends, welcome to Manu Law classes. I am Gautam Dixit, subject matter expert, GK and current affairs. Today in this video, we are going to look at the important current affairs of last 1 week from 15 to 21st May 2021. Let's see the topic which we are going to do today. The first topic which we are going to see is the Israel-Palestine conflict, which is going on, the historical background of Israel-Palestine conflict. Then we will look at Iron Dome, aerial defense system of Israel. We will also look at that why WPI is increasing and what does K-shaped recovery means, how cyclones are classified, especially the Tauktae cyclone, which has hit the western coast of India. Then we will see the Osiris-Rex mission, what was its objective. Then we will see the Sputnik 5 Russian-made vaccine, which has been recently been introduced in India. Then the new rules for COVID vaccine, and then we will follow some bulletins, the one-liner type of question, which will help you in the one-liner type of questions. Friends, we at Manu Law classes have already launched our 1-year course and 2-year course. You can enroll us because the seats are very limited in these courses by calling on this number. Okay, and the new batches are available for CLAT 2022 and CLAT 2023. So join us very soon so that you can start ahead with the preparation. You can also join us for a free trial. The procedures are that in the description link given below. Click on the link. Then you can sign up for the 15 days trial. You have to just fill the form and you can access the recorded and live classes along with one-to-one interaction with faculty, then access to recorded conceptual lectures on various topics, then access to topical tests and sectional tests. Along with that, for this 15-day trials also, we are providing you the performance feedback of your test so that you analyze your strength and weakness in your preparation. So please join us by contacting the number which we have shared here, 9971444054, and enroll to our courses. Now, before we move to the important news, let's first see that there are certain changes which has been recommended by the National Expert Group on Vaccine Administration for COVID-19. This body is also called as NAGVAC. Okay, so this is the body under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. It has recommended certain changes in the vaccination policies. So the first change is that if somebody is infected from the corona and he or she has recovered, so there is no need to take vaccine for the first 3 months after recovering from the disease. So the first is the COVID-19 vaccination to be deferred by 3 months after recovery from illness. यहाँ पे illness का मतलब है illness from COVID-19. The second is that if some person got infected after taking the first dose, for example, the vaccines which are right now in India are 2-dose vaccine, they are not 1-dose vaccine. So somebody who got the disease after getting the first dose, then he went into the treatment and got discharged after getting well, then he has to defer the second dose for 3 months, not for 12 weeks or 8 weeks, not like that. 12 to 16 weeks, it does not have to defer, you have to defer for 3 months. The next is that lactating women or nursing women, they can also go for the vaccination. The second is that if somebody is coming up at the COVID-19 vaccination center, does that person has to go under rapid antigen test? So here the committee, the expert group has clarified that there is no need for screening of vaccine recipients by rapid antigen test prior to COVID-19 vaccination. So if somebody has already taken vaccine, so there is no need for rapid antigen test for the next slot. The next is that if there is any person who is infected with the disease other than corona, it may be diabetes, heart disease, hypertension, or anything like cancer, and if that person has been admitted to hospitalization or ICU and gets discharged after getting well, so that person should not take the corona vaccine immediately. He should wait for at least 4 to 8 weeks. Okay, so these are the recent changes which have been brought. Now these changes are based on the domestic experience and international experience and scientific research. The next is that the Union Health Ministry okay, it has dropped the convalescent plasma therapy from the National Clinical Management Protocol. It means that now convalescent plasma therapy for treating corona patient will now not be in use. Now, why such decision has been taken? Now, it is very important. Now, this decision is first of all based on the ICMR report, which was released in October 2020, as well as India's largest trial called as PLACIT trial. Okay, so what is the reason? The reason is very simple, my friends, that it does not offer any therapeutic benefits, okay, or medical benefits in patients infected with COVID-19. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ कि जब हम COVID-19 पेशेंट को प्लाज्मा थेरेपी देते हैं, तो जो if the patient is suffering from mild or medium disease, okay, then this plasma therapy does not help in stopping that disease to progress into the adverse version. Okay, so the severe symptoms तो भी उसको develop हो जाते हैं. Fine, so that's why this is not offering any therapeutic benefit. Okay, it has been seen that the high titer means high load of antibodies. Okay, the plasma which contains high load of antibody is called as high titer. So the high titer convalescent plasma did not improve the survival of the patient or other pre-specified clinical outcomes. Pre-specified clinical outcomes matlab कि there were certain outcomes. Also, if the disease is being treated, then the symptoms must reduce. But it was observed that after giving the plasma therapy, the symptoms were not going away. Okay, so now let's see what is plasma. So plasma, it is the clear liquid portion of the blood which remains after the red blood cells, white blood cells, and other cellular components in the blood has been removed. Okay, so अगर हम blood को अगर देखते हैं दोस्तों, तो blood is majorly made of three parts. One is red blood cell, the next is white blood cell, and the other is the liquid part. Okay, if the white blood cell and the red blood cells are removed, so only the liquid part remains. This liquid part is called as plasma. Okay, and if this plasma has been extracted from the recovered patient, if this plasma has been recovered patient, it has been extracted from recovered patient, तो हम इसको क्या कहते हैं? इसको हम कहते हैं convalescent plasma. We call it as convalescent plasma. Okay, now what is the characteristic of convalescent plasma? Since it has been extracted from the body of the person who has recovered, so it will contain very high load of antibodies. So it is a very important source of antibodies extracted from the blood of recovered patient. The next factual information is that who is the Director General of ICMR? So Professor Balaram Bhargava is the Director General of ICMR. Now coming to the next important news, Sputnik 5. So it is the factual information related with Sputnik 5. Right now, some 1.5 lakh to 2 lakh doses have been imported in India by Dr. Reddy's laboratory, and it has been launched in Hyderabad. Okay. Now see the Sputnik 5. It has been manufactured by Gamaleya Research Institute of Epidemiology and Microbiology in Moscow, Russia. Then is it a one-dose vaccine or two-dose vaccine? No, so it is a two-dose vaccine. The question comes here that Covishield is a two-dose vaccine or one-dose vaccine. So it is a two-dose vaccine. Covaxin is also a two-dose vaccine, and it has the efficacy of 91.6%. What is the meaning of efficacy? The meaning of efficacy is that suppose 100%, 100 people have taken the Sputnik 5 vaccine. Okay, not percentage, 100 people. So 100 people have taken the Sputnik 5 vaccine. Out of that, about 91.6% or approximately 92% will not get corona disease. This is called as efficacy. Okay, now it uses two different human adenovirus. Okay, it uses two different human adenovirus. Covishield uses one adenovirus. Okay, that's the difference. Now it requires very low temperature for storage. Okay, minus 18 degrees Celsius. At the same time, the cost of this vaccine in India is going to be 99 rupees 995, making it the second costliest or second expensive vaccine in India. Which is the most expensive vaccine in India? It is Covaxin. It cost around rupees 1200 per dose. Okay, Sputnik is going to cost rupees 995, around 995. Then what is the cost of Covishield? The cost of Covishield is around rupees 600. Okay, now who is managing the export and marketing of Sputnik 5 in international market? So it is the Russian Direct Investment Fund, which is involved in global marketing and production. Okay, now this company of Russia had entered into agreement with Dr. Reddy Laboratories Limited to supply the vaccine in India. Now coming to the most important topic of today, Israel-Palestine conflict. Now for understanding the Israel-Palestine conflict, it is very necessary to understand the location of Israel and its neighboring countries so that we can understand the recent dispute. So here I have taken a map of Israel. Israel is in Middle East. Okay. Now this is Israel. This blue water is Mediterranean Sea. Okay, this river which you can see forming the border is okay and draining here. We can say it as a northern boundary of Israel. Okay, now see, this is whole Israel. This is Sinai Peninsula controlled by Egypt. Okay, now this pink color is former Palestine. It is former Palestine. Okay, now the pink color area is controlled by Israel. And this yellow area, okay, this yellow area are where the Palestine refugees live. The Palestine refugees live. Okay, so the main area where Palestine refugees are living in Israel are West Bank and Gaza. Okay, so West Bank you can say totally surrounded by Israel from 3 sides and 1 side from Jordan, and Gaza is surrounded by Israel and has access to sea. Okay, recently the violence is going on here between Gaza and Israel. It is not going on between West Bank and Israel. And can you just see the Jerusalem? Jerusalem, okay, this is a city which is in news. So Jerusalem, it is, so you can see that Israel also has access, and the West Bank, the Palestinian area, also has access to Jerusalem. At the same time, Jerusalem is the holiest place for both Islam, Jew, and also to Christians. So this is the location. Now let's see the neighboring countries. So here in the north, we have Lebanon and Syria, which is neighboring the Iraq, Israel, then Jordan, then here Egypt. Okay, and here we have Mediterranean Sea. Now the Israel is a Jewish country. Okay, Israel is the Jewish country and is surrounded by Arab countries. Okay. Now coming to the background, then what is the background? Okay, so Palestine, earlier the Israel or the former Palestine was inhabited by Palestinian Arabs who were Muslims. Okay, but in 1799, when Napoleon Bonaparte was going on conquering the world, he offered Palestine as homeland to Jews. Then Jews in very small numbers started coming to Palestine. There was no conflict between Palestine and Jews at that point of time. Okay, so Jews in very small numbers started coming. Then in 1882, almost after 80 years, Jewish settlement, the first Jewish settlement was established in Palestine. Before that, there was no Jewish settlement in Palestine. Then after a few years, after 15 years in 1897, the first Zionist Congress, okay, there is a one term which is called as Zionism. For clarification, Zionism means a philosophy, okay, philosophy which is related to Jewish homeland, okay, Jewish homeland. That the Jew people should have their own homeland. The first Zionist Congress was held in Switzerland and they demanded Jewish homeland. Okay, Then what happened that in 1916, when the World War I was already going on, the Sykes-Picot Agreement or Sykes-Picot Agreement was signed between France and Britain. What they did in this agreement, they divided the whole Arab area, okay, into their sphere of influence. Some area of Arab was going to be controlled by France, some area was going to be controlled by Britain. So Britain got Palestine and France got Jordan, Lebanon, Iraq, and Syria. Then in 1917, British government it announced the support for the Jewish homeland in Palestine. Fine. After this, the Jewish people started coming in a large number in Palestine. Now the next is that before we go to 1947, we have to remember that what happened in World War II. In World War II, there was Holocaust. Holocaust means the ethnic killing of Jews by Nazi people. Okay, so after this, what happened? That Jewish demand for homeland grew very strong. They said that if we have our own country, we cannot be persecuted by any foreign government. So the Israelis started coming to Palestine in a very large number. Then the conflict started brewing between Palestine and Jewish people. So in order to solve that conflict, उस conflict को solve करने के लिए हमने क्या किया? United Nations ने 1947 में एक resolution लाया और बोला कि मैं पैलेस्टाइन को 3 पार्ट में डिवाइड कर देता हूँ. One area for Palestine and one area for Israel. The third part, which is Jerusalem city, it will not belong to Palestine or Israel, but Jerusalem क्या होगा? एक international city होगा. Plan ठीक था, अगर implement हो जाता तो शायद आज इतना violence नहीं होता. But what was the problem? The plan was never implemented. This was the main problem. Okay? उसके बाद क्या हुआ? जो Zionist leaders थे, जो Jews के leader थे Palestine में, what they did? They declared that state of creation of state of Israel. वो United Nations के resolutions के लिए रुके ही नहीं. उन्होंने सीधा declare कर दिया कि the state of Israel has been declared. In which year? 1948. जैसे ही उन्होंने ये declare किया, already the Palestine Arabs were living there. So they did not like this idea. तो उसके बाद क्या होगा? There will be a war between Israel and Palestine. तो हुआ ही वो 2 साल तक war चला, which is called as Israel-Palestine war. Okay, what was the result of this war? The result of this war was that 7 lakh Palestinians Arab were displaced from their home. Okay, now they were displaced from their home. Once they were displaced from the home, so where they went to those area of Palestine which was controlled by Arab countries. So they went to Gaza, which was controlled by Egypt. They went to West Bank, which was controlled by Jordan. Okay, इस एपिसोड को okay, the refugee crisis को हम नकबा भी कहते हैं. It is called as नकबा. Fine. उसके बाद क्या हुआ कि the East Jerusalem, okay, it got occupied by Jordan and West Jerusalem was occupied by Israel. Fine. After this, after almost 20 years, there was 1967 Six-Day War. I mean, 1967 Six-Day War was fought between Israel and Arab countries. There was a consortium of Arab countries. अब हम देखेंगे कि कौन-कौन से अरब कंट्रीज ने इसमें पार्ट लिया. तो जॉर्डन, इजिप्ट एंड सीरिया. तो एक साइड इजराइल था दोस्तों, दूसरी साइड ये 3 कंट्रीज थी. तो क्या होगा? इस वॉर में अरब कंट्रीज का जीतना तय था. बट व्हाट हैपेंड? इजराइल डिफीटेड द अरब कंट्रीज. ठीक है. उसके बाद क्या करता है? You can see the West Bank, which was with Jordan, Israel annexed it. The East Jerusalem, which was again with Jordan, Israel annexed it. The Golan Heights, which was with Syria, Israel annexed it. Then Gaza and Sinai Peninsula was also annexed from Egypt. तो जितने भी पैलेस्टाइन के एरिया थे जो पहले डिफरेंट अरब कंट्रीज के पास थे, जहां पे पैलेस्टाइन रेफ्यूजीज रह रहे थे, ओके, अब वो क्या हुआ कि इजराइल ने इनको ऑक्यूपाई कर लिया. It means all those became the part of Israel now. But who are living there? Jewish people? No. Palestinian Arab people are living over there. और Palestinian Arab people को पहले से ही प्रॉब्लम है. They are not recognizing the state of Israel. Okay. So that's why the conflict is going on between Jewish people and Palestinian Arab. Each country, each party try to assert that this is my homeland. Okay. यहीं से सारा प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व होता है. अब हम आते हैं कि क्या कभी वर्ल्ड ने ट्राई नहीं किया कि दैट देयर शुड बी एस्टेब्लिशमेंट ऑफ पीस बिटवीन इजराइल एंड पैलेस्टीनियन अरब्स। तो वर्ल्ड ने ट्राई किया। वन ऑफ द मेजर peace accord which was signed in 1993 and 1995 was Oslo Peace Accord. Okay, इसने क्या किया, इसने बोला कि the Palestinian people who are living in Gaza and West Bank they will have the right to self determination. Okay, इसके वजह से क्या हुआ, that it resulted in recognizing the Palestine Liberation Organization as the representative of Palestine people. पहले इजराइल जो है वो पैलेस्टाइन लिबरेशन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन और पीएलओ को रिकॉग्नाइज नहीं करता था, बट ओस्लो अकॉर्ड के बाद इट गेव रिकॉग्निशन टू पीएलओ एंड इट अंडरस्टूड दैट पीएलओ इज द रियल रिप्रेजेंटेटिव ऑफ पैलेस्टाइन पीपल एंड इलेक्शंस कैन बी हेल्ड देयर फॉर इलेक्टिंग द रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स। फाइन। अब देखो आज का सिनेरियो क्या है, इधर पैलेस्टीनियन रेफ्यूजीज जो है वो गाजा स्ट्रिप में और वेस्ट बैंक में रहते हैं, बट गाजा इज कंट्रोल्ड बाय हमास which Israel considers as a terrorist group, and West Bank is controlled by Palestinian National Authority. Okay, ये डिवीजन हो गया है कि गाजा हमास के द्वारा कंट्रोल होता है, वेस्ट बैंक थ्रू पैलेस्टाइन नेशनल अथॉरिटी। ये कब हुआ, ये 2005 के बाद हुआ, which is called as Fatah Hamas conflict following the Yasser Arafat death. He was the prominent leader of PLO. ओके उसके बाद देखो और क्या प्रॉब्लम्स हैं इजराइल पैलेस्टाइन कॉन्फ्लिक्ट में। द नेक्स्ट प्रॉब्लम इज रिलेटेड टू जेरूसलम। ओके, द जेरूसलम इज कंसिडर्ड एज द कैपिटल, इट हैज बीन प्रोक्लेम्ड एज द कैपिटल बाय इजराइल एंड पैलेस्टाइन बोथ। इजराइल ने इसको 1980 में रिकॉग्नाइज किया अपना कैपिटल, और प्रोक्लेम जो है पैलेस्टाइन जो है वो ईस्ट जेरूसलम को अपना कैपिटल रिकॉग्नाइज करता है। ओके, अब जो रिसेंट हुआ है प्रॉब्लम वो क्यों हुआ है। ओके, सो इजराइल का एक प्रॉब्लम है, इट स्टार्ट्स मेकिंग सेटलमेंट इन द एरियाज वेयर पैलेस्टीनियंस आर लिविंग, फॉर एग्जांपल वेस्ट बैंक एरिया। ओके, सेटलमेंट्स बनाना मतलब वेस्ट बैंक एरिया को कैप्चर करके वहां पे घर बनाना और ताकि वहां पे जीविश लोग रह सकें। दिस आइडिया इज नॉट लाइक्ड बाय पैलेस्टीनियन पीपल, दे ऑलवेज अपोज दिस आइडिया। So recently the Israel started expansion of its settlement in an area in East Jerusalem called as Sheikh Jarrah. Okay, so the people were having problem with it. At the same time, Israel ने क्या किया, it barricaded the Damascus Plaza Gate, which is in East Jerusalem, और ये एंट्री पॉइंट है अल अक्सा मॉस्क का। ओके, उसने रिस्ट्रिक्ट किया कि पैलेस्टाइन पीपल विल नॉट गो इन अल अक्सा मॉस्क ड्यूरिंग द रमजान, द होली पीरियड। ओके, अब अल अक्सा मॉस्क क्या है, इट इज द थर्ड होलीएस्ट मॉस्क आफ्टर मक्का एंड मदीना कंसिडर्ड इन इस्लाम। तो इस्लाम तो पैलेस्टीनियन प्रॉब्लम को, पैलेस्टीनियन पीपल को इससे प्रॉब्लम हो गया, एंड देन द हमास इन गाजा reiterated to this violence, okay, by missiles and mortars. Okay, now what is Iron Dome? Now Iron Dome क्या है कि एक एरियल डिफेंस सिस्टम है। जब कोई मिसाइल, for example, if some missile is going to attack the nation, so the aerial defense system will launch its own missile and it will defuse these targets. Okay, so Iron Dome is a short range 70-kilometer ground to air defense missile system. It consists of an inceptor called as Tamir and a radar which tracks and destroys any missile. Okay, only missile? No, any or airborne attack such as artillery, mortars, rockets. Okay, and then the next important point is it is an all-weather system and can be launched from land and sea both. Fine. Then the next is it is a multi-layer interception system. मतलब ये शॉर्ट रेंज भी है और लॉन्ग रेंज भी है। इट इज शॉर्ट रेंज ऑल्सो एंड लॉन्ग रेंज ऑल्सो। कोई मिसाइल अगर बहुत नजदीक आ गई है तो भी डिफ्यूज कर सकता है, और कोई मिसाइल बहुत दूर है तो भी उसको डिफ्यूज कर सकता है। ओके, सो द आयरन डोम इज अ मल्टी लेयर इंटरसेप्शन सिस्टम कंसिस्टिंग ऑफ टू सिस्टम, डेविड स्लिंग एंड एरो मिसाइल सिस्टम व्हिच आर डिजाइन्ड फॉर मीडियम एंड लॉन्ग रेंज थ्रेट। उसके बाद इट इज द नेक्स्ट थिंग इज कि इसका एक वेरिएंट है व्हिच इज कॉल्ड एज आई डोम। ओके, इट कैन बी मूव्ड, इट इज कॉल्ड एज मोबाइल वेरिएंट। Okay, and can be moved on a single truck. The second variant is Sea-Dome, which is the naval version of the Iron Dome. Okay. Then the US version, US के पास भी ऐसे aerial defense mechanism है, system है, उसको हम कहते हैं Sky Hunter. इंडिया के पास भी है, which is called as Terminal High Altitude Aerial Defense System. Okay, it consists of two components, Prithvi and S-400 missiles. Prithvi and S-400 missiles. ये S-400 missiles हम रशिया से ले रहे हैं. Now coming to that, why WPI has surged. Okay, so WPI, okay, it is also called as wholesale price index. ये अभी रिसेंटली अप्रैल 2021 का जो डेटा आया है, यहाँ पे ये इंक्रीज हो गया 10.4%. Okay, so what is the major reason? The first major reason is low base effect. Okay, the WPI inflation in April 2020, okay, was -1.5%. इसका मतलब कि जब हम अप्रैल 1, 2020 लास्ट ईयर का प्राइस देखेंगे तो इट वाज इन द नेगेटिव जोन, और इस ईयर का प्राइस देखेंगे तो इट इज इन द पॉजिटिव जोन. Okay, so what has happened, that the base, the denominator is very low. So whatever number we are getting for this year, what will happen, because of very less negative denominator, the present year's number will become big. The second is because of the lockdown, the supply chain disruptions has taken place at the wholesale market. I have already taken this in the last lecture कि कैसे रूरल एरिया में कोरोना बढ़ने से सप्लाई चेन डिसरप्शन हो रहा है, अनाज मंडी तक नहीं पहुंच रहा है. ओके, तो उसकी वजह से क्या हो रहा है, फूड इन्फ्लेशन हो गया है, और ये फूड इन्फ्लेशन खास करके प्रोटीन रिच फूड्स में देखा जा रहा है. फॉर एग्जांपल एग्स, पल्सेस, मीट, फिश एंड फ्रूट्स. ओके, उसके बाद क्या हो रहा है कि थ्रू आउट द वर्ल्ड क्या हो रहा है कि कोरोना से बहुत सारे कंट्रीज बाहर आ चुके हैं. Okay, for example, China and USA. So what has happened? Now they are demanding the raw material for production of industrial products. So what has happened? The rises of commodities such as minerals, edible oil, crude oil, basic metals have increased. उसके बाद जो मैंने अभी explain किया, that rise in global commodity prices due to resurgence of demand. All these factors has led to increase in the WPI. अब हम देखते हैं कि what is the difference between WPI and CPI. So the WPI, it tracks the wholesale price or mandi price, okay, which the consumer is not buying. We do not buy from wholesale or mandi level, but CPI tracks prices at which consumers are buying the goods. The next is that WPI does not include transportation cost of the goods or taxes and the retail margins. जो बनिए का मार्जिन होता है, जो हम जिस दुकान से हम खरीदते हैं वो भी अपना मार्जिन लगा के हमको बेचता है, वो मार्जिन हम WPI में नहीं लेते. But in CPI we include the transportation cost, taxes and retail margins, which is directly impacting the consumers. The second is WPI only measures the inflation in goods, not in services. CPI measures the both goods and services. उसके बाद WPI में देखते हैं हायर वेटेज किसका होता है. WPI में हायर वेटेज मैन्युफैक्चर्ड गुड्स का होता है, बट CPI में हायर वेटेज फूड आइटम्स का होता है, बिकॉज कंज्यूमर आर मेनली इंपैक्टेड बाय द राइज इन फूड आइटम्स. उसके बाद WPI रिलीज कौन करता है? WPI रिलीज करते हैं इकोनॉमिक एडवाइजर, ओके, इन मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कॉमर्स एंड इंडस्ट्रीज, बट CPI इज रिलीज्ड बाय नेशनल स्टैटिस्टिकल ऑफिस अंडर द मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ स्टैटिस्टिक्स एंड प्रोग्राम इम्प्लीमेंटेशन, जिसको हम MOSPI भी कहते हैं. अब हम एक क्वेश्चन लेते हैं दोस्तों, बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन है. Which of the following growth recovery curve signifies different parts of the economy recovering at different rates? Okay, there are various growth curves like U curve, V curve, L curve, then W curve, then K curve. Okay, so which of this curve signifies that different parts of the economy is recovering at different rates? So the answer is K curve. Let's see. So the K curve recovery curve occurs when after the recessions different part of the economy recovers at different rates. For example, अब हम लेते हैं, ये मैंने डायग्राम वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमिक फोरम के वेबसाइट से लिया है. यहाँ पे क्या है कि डाउनस्लाइड आया, ओके, पहले रिसेशन आया, सब कुछ नीचे चले गया। अब क्या हुआ, देयर आर सर्टन फर्म्स, टेक्नोलॉजी एंड लार्ज कैप फर्म्स which are increasing at a faster rate, but there are certain firms like small businesses, poor and blue collar job, manufacturing sector, they are still bearing the brunt of the recession. Okay, so this is the K curve. Okay, now the next one is the Saffir-Simpson scale is used to measure. So let's see. The A is intensity of earthquake, B is damage caused by volcanism, C is height of tsunami, D is wind speed of cyclones and hurricane. So see the correct answer. It is the Saffir-Simpson scale is used to measure wind speed of cyclones and hurricane. ये कैटेगरी है, देखिए 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 कैटेगरी है depending on the speed of the wind. So the first category is 119 to 153 किलोमीटर पर आवर, यूनिट्स पे आप लोग ध्यान देंगे। सेकेंड कैटेगरी इज 154 टू 177 किलोमीटर पर आवर। थर्ड कैटेगरी इज 178 टू 208 किलोमीटर पर आवर। फोर्थ कैटेगरी इज 209 टू 251 किलोमीटर पर आवर। ओके, अब हम साइक्लोन तौते को देखेंगे। साइक्लोन तौते की स्पीड कितनी थी, 165 टू 220 किलोमीटर पर आवर। तो ये करीब करीब थर्ड एंड फोर्थ के बीच में आ रहा था। ओके, थर्ड एंड फोर्थ। ओके, दैट्स व्हाई इट हैज बीन टर्म्ड एज एक्सट्रीमली सीवियर साइक्लोनिक स्टॉर्म। इसने लैंडफॉल कहां पे किया, ओके, इसने लैंडफॉल किया ऊना इन गिर इन गुजरात। ओके, अच्छा, अब साइक्लोन में होता है कि ये नाम किसने दिया, साइक्लोन तौते को नाम किसने दिया, दिस नेम हैज बीन गिवन बाय म्यांमार। हम अपने नेक्स्ट लेक्चर में डिस्कस करेंगे कि साइक्लोन्स की नेमिंग कैसे की जाती है, वहां पे हम इसको डिटेल से देखेंगे। ओके, एंड देन वी विल अंडरस्टैंड कि हाउ कम बांग्लादेश इज गिविंग द नेम निसर्गा टू अ साइक्लोन व्हिच इज कमिंग इन इंडिया, हाउ म्यांमार इज गिविंग द नेम ताउते टू अ साइक्लोन व्हिच इज कमिंग इन इंडिया। अब हम आगे क्वेश्चन देखते हैं, ये बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट है दोस्तों, इसको प्लीज ध्यान में रखिएगा। Which among the following drug is used to treat mucormycosis? Okay, let's see the correct answer is A. Amphotericin B is used to treat mucormycosis. Mucormycosis क्या होता है, ब्लैक फंगस डिजीज है। इसको मैंने डिटेल में अपने लास्ट लेक्चर में, अपने लास्ट वीडियो में डिस्कस किया है। आप हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर सकते हैं और इस वीडियो को एक्सेस कर सकते हैं। इसके साथ मैंने बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट चीजें भी डिस्कस की हैं उस लेक्चर में। Now see what is the problem, okay, with this drug, that why it is very difficult to treat the patients who are having the black fungus. तो पहला प्रॉब्लम क्या है कि जो ड्रग हमारे पास अवेलेबल है which is called as amphotericin B, ये हमारे पास लिफोफिलिजिड एक फॉर्म होता है फार्मास्यूटिकल्स में, it is available in a form which is called as liofilizid, which is not recommended for patients who are suffering with comorbidities like blood pressure, sugar, cancer, etc. एक ये प्रॉब्लम है कि हमारे पास वैसे ड्रग्स अवेलेबल नहीं है जिससे हम कोमॉर्बिड पेशेंट को ट्रीट कर सके। सेकेंड, ब्लैक फंगस उन लोगों को हो रहा है ज्यादातर जो कोरोना से पीड़ित हैं, जो कोरोना के इन्फेक्शन से पीड़ित हैं, तो हम तब तक उनका ट्रीटमेंट शुरू नहीं कर सकते जब तक वो कोरोना से रिकवर न कर जाए। सो दिस इज द सेकंड प्रॉब्लम, दैट मेनी पेशेंट्स आर कोविड पॉजिटिव, मेकिंग ट्रीटमेंट ऑफ म्यूकोरमाइकोसिस डिफिकल्ट। अब इसको चैलेंज को कैसे सॉल्व करना है, सो some states have made this disease as a notified disease, okay, under the Epidemic Act of 1897. Second is Rajasthan ने इसको epidemic declare किया है। Okay, what is the meaning of epidemic? It is a widespread occurrence of disease in a community at a particular time. अब आपके दिमाग में क्वेश्चन आएगा कि फिर एंडेमिक क्या होता है, पैंडेमिक क्या होता है। पैंडेमिक मतलब पूरे ग्लोबल लेवल पे वो डिजीज हो रहा है, एपिडेमिक का मतलब होता है कि वाइड स्प्रेड अकरेंस है। ओके, अचानक से डिजीज बढ़ रहा है, सो इट इज अ वाइड स्प्रेड अकरेंस, ओके, एट अ पर्टिकुलर टाइम। अब एंडेमिक क्या होता है, एंडेमिक वो डिजीज होता है दोस्तों कि जो वाइड स्प्रेड नहीं है, ठीक है ना, वो बहुत तेजी से बढ़ नहीं रहा है, उसका एक बेस लाइन है कि हर साल इतने लोगों को ये बीमारी होगी और उस बेस लाइन को वो स्टिक करता है। सो इट इज कॉन्स्टेंटली मेंटेन्ड एट द बेस लेवल in a geographic area without any external inputs. Okay, उसको कंट्रोल करने के लिए मेडिकल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की, सब डॉक्टरों को उसके लिए काम करने की जरूरत नहीं है। फॉर एग्जांपल फॉर म्यूकोरमाइकोसिस अभी हर जगह से हमको इनपुट चाहिए टू कंट्रोल द डिजीज। एक बार कंट्रोल हो जाएगा तब वी कैन से दैट इट हैज बिकम नाउ एंडेमिक। Now the next question is Osiris-Rex mission is of which of the following space agency? ये अभी न्यूज में था, क्वेश्चन आ सकता है इसके ऊपर दोस्तों. So see the options. Roscosmos is related with Russia. It is a Russian space agency. The correct answer is D, NASA. What is this mission is about? So it is the first mission of it is the first mission of any space agency. अभी तो ये NASA का वो है mission. So it is the first mission to visit the near Earth asteroid. Okay, asteroid क्या होता है? Asteroids are small rocky objects that orbit the sun like other planets. But what is the difference? They are significantly smaller than the planets. Okay, ये कहाँ पे पाए जाते हैं? They lie between Mars and Jupiter. So if you will see, okay, तो समझो कि ये सन है, मैंने मार्स, मरकुरी और वीनस को नहीं बनाया, ये अर्थ है, ये मार्स है, तो बीच में एक बेल्ट आता है, ओके, ऑफ स्मॉल रॉकी ऑब्जेक्ट्स, इसको हम एस्टेरॉइड बेल्ट कहते हैं. उसके बाद जुपिटर का ऑर्बिट आता है. ओके, सो इट लाइज बिटवीन द ऑर्बिट ऑफ मार्स एंड जुपिटर. इट इज कॉल्ड एज एस्टेरॉइड बेल्ट. नाउ कमिंग हियर, now what was the objective of this Osiris-Rex mission? The objective was to collect a sample from the asteroid. Okay, now recently this Osiris-Rex spacecraft has departed from the asteroid named Bennu 101955 Bennu. Okay, what is the importance? It is the carbonaceous asteroid, means rocks containing high amount of carbon. Okay, in the Apollo group. This was discovered in 1999. Now coming to the bulletins, the first bulletin is that Union Tribal Affairs Ministry has collaborated with Microsoft India for digital transformation of Eklavya Model School. Okay, now what is the Eklavya model? Why we need this collaboration? The ministry is aiming to improve the digital skills of the students and inform artificial intelligence based pedagogy, means teaching methodology for tribal students. What is Eklavya Model Residential Schools? It was started in 1977-1988 to impart quality education to ST children. अब यहाँ पे ध्यान देने की बात है दोस्तों. We are not talking about scheduled caste children. We are only talking about ST children in remote and tribal areas. 2002 में इसमें चेंजेस आए हैं कि अब हर डिस्ट्रिक्ट नहीं, हर ब्लॉक जहाँ पे 50% से ज्यादा लोग ट्राइबल हैं या ST पॉपुलेशन है and at least 20,000 tribal persons वहां पे रहते हैं, such blocks will have Eklavya Model Residential School. Then there was a place which was in news called as Malerkotla. Why it was in news? Because it has been declared as the 23rd district of Punjab. इसको कौन से डिस्ट्रिक्ट से कार्व आउट किया है? संगरूर डिस्ट्रिक्ट ऑफ पंजाब. The next is the चाइना ने अभी प्रोटेस्ट किया यूएस के पैसेज एक्सरसाइज को. ये पैसेज एक्सरसाइज किसने किया था? यूएस नेवी की 7th फ्लीट, जिसका नाम है यूएसएस कर्टिस विल्बर. इसने एक ट्रांजिट पैसेज मींस टू गो थ्रू समथिंग, ट्रांजिट पैसेज किया. कहां पे? ताइवान स्ट्रेट में. ओके, सो चाइना ऑब्जेक्टेड टू इट. व्हाट इज ताइवान स्ट्रेट? ताइवान स्ट्रेट इन द साउथ चाइना सी सेपरेट्स ताइवान एंड कॉन्टिनेंटल एशिया. ये इंपॉर्टेंट है आपके एग्जाम के लिए. नेक्स्ट आते हैं जो बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट है, दैट इंडियन आर्मी ने रिसेंटली इनॉग्रेट किया है ग्रीन सोलर एनर्जी हार्नेसिंग प्लांट. कितने? उसका 50 किलोवाट एम्पियर का. किस जगह पे? सिक्किम में. सो दिस इज इंपॉर्टेंट. नाउ फरजाद बी गैस फील्ड, ये कहां पे है? ये फारसी रीजन ऑफ ईरान में है. व्हाई इट वाज इन न्यूज? ये गैस फील्ड ONGC विदेश लिमिटेड ने डिस्कवर किया था, बट रिसेंटली ईरान हैज डिसाइडेड that ONGC Videsh Limited will not develop it, but an Iranian company called as Petropars will develop it. ये न्यूज में है. उसके बाद एक ड्रग की बात हो रही है दोस्तों, जो DRDO ने निकाला है. इसे हम कहते हैं 2-deoxy D-glucose या 2DG. This drug was manufactured or invented by Institute of Nuclear Medicines and Allied Sciences of DRDO. इस ड्रग की खासियत क्या है दोस्तों? इस ड्रग की ये खासियत है कि इट reduces the dependence on medical oxygen of which type of patients? COVID-19 patients showing moderate to severe symptoms. अब आप कहोगे कि बस इसको खा के हम ठीक हो जाएंगे क्या? नहीं, इट इज एन एडजंक्ट मेडिसिन। एडजंक्ट मेडिसिन का मतलब होता है कि इसको आपको बाकी दवाइयों के साथ भी लेना है। ओके उसके बाद एक नाम है मिस थुजार रिंथ लुइन। शी वॉज रिसेंटली इन न्यूज। शी इज फ्रॉम म्यांमार। ओके शी इज द कंटेस्टेंट ऑफ 70th मिस यूनिवर्स 2021 contest. Why she was in news? Because she on the international platform made an appeal to the international community the violence going on currently in Myanmar. Thanks for watching it. Subscribe to our channel and get access to other videos, important videos in English, legal affairs, legal terminologies, reasoning and quantitative aptitude. Have a nice day. Thank you.